Hello, Paxson community. It's Mr. Halloran checking in with you on the week of November 5th, which is, of course, conference week. I'm looking forward to seeing several of you at conferences later this week. And I know several of you have already visited with your teachers, but obviously it's such an important thing to be able to check in with teachers and find out how your students are doing academically and how they're doing socially, emotionally, and all those other little things that go into the school day. And I, of course, welcome your feedback on conferences, as I welcome your feedback with everything, but I'm hoping to see you guys in the halls later this week. We did send out invitations through Sign Up Genius. It seems like most people have received them, but there are some parents who have been telling us they have not. So I would say for those, check your spam, because it sounds like some people have had their invitations go directly to spam. If you don't see it there, just reach out to your teacher and I'm sure they can work something out. This week I'm going to talk to you a little bit about biliteracy pathways. Biliteracy pathways is the language arts curriculum that our students are receiving in both English and Spanish this year. At Paxson, we really focus on, well, a lot of things. We focus on academic achievement in all academic areas in both English and in Spanish. But we also focus on bilingualism, the ability to speak in Spanish, and biliteracy, the ability to read and write in Spanish. And of course, we focus on cultural diversity and getting to know other people and other cultures, as was reflected in several things that happened this week at school, learning about Dia de los Muertos and kites that are made in Guatemala, etc. If you haven't seen those kites, be sure to do so. But the curriculum that was selected by the district, our curriculum, let me put it this way, our curriculum are the standards, are the priority standards, those things that we say our students will learn these standards hand over heart before they move to the following grade. They will be able to know and do these things. There was a long process that several teachers and administrators throughout the district went through in, number one, identifying the most important standards in language arts. We call those priority standards. And those are the students, like you said, that students will not survive really at the next grade level should they not gain mastery in those standards. So several teachers and administrators in the district 2 years ago identified those standards. And then there is another group of teachers and administrators who worked to looking at those standards to find a curriculum that best matched those things that our teachers said our students need to know and be able to do. And that's where they came up with the curriculum known as ReadyGen. Luckily for Paxson and for Paxson students, ReadyGen has a Spanish literacy program, and that English and Spanish literacy program is called Biliteracy Pathways. Essentially what happens is students are learning language arts and language arts concepts and language arts standards and skills in both languages. The English and Spanish curriculum walk side by side, and the concepts are being reinforced in both languages. ReadyGen, or Biliteracy Pathways, really focuses on, when we talk about instructional shifts with Common Core, and one of those main instructional shifts is balancing fiction and nonfiction. To make sure our students are able to read any kind of text and make sense of it and read it fluently and decode it, but also to write about it, to also be able to talk about it. But also the idea of going deeper instead of an inch deep and kind of thinking about coverage, but really going deeper and delving into a text to help students ask questions of a text and to be able to engage with a text in a meaningful way. So these Common Core shifts are really reflected in ReadyGen. Each module has a clear theme so that students are reading about what they're writing about, and students are writing about what they're reading about, and they're discussing what they're writing about, because we know that students are more engaged if all those aspects are connected. If they feel disparate to students, they're less likely to engage. So these in these modules is where you will see in each one of these modules, it has a very clear sense of what every student should know and be able to do by the end. And of course, that's what we mean by priority standards. So both the English and the Spanish components of the curriculum come with a leveled text library, so students are able to read books and stories at their Lexile level. They come with authentic texts, which are nonfiction trade books, often built around a theme, sometimes a social studies theme, sometimes a scientific theme. I know right now third graders, all their trade books are on the theme of space, and they're writing about space and reading about space. And these are collections of high interest fiction and nonfiction selections, and they're really designed to sharpen critical thinking skills in the students. The themes of many of these texts, like I said, are science and social studies. The Spanish module is often taught first or taught simultaneously with the paired English module, so that the students are really learning the same things or much of the same overlapping concepts in two different classrooms and from two different teachers, again, hopefully going deeper. Lessons often include small group time. They include writing workshop, whole group writing workshop, but then of course they include all those things we've talked about in previous videos, opportunities to read to self, to read to someone, to work on word work, to work on vocabulary, etc. The curriculum explicitly points out cross-language connections, and so when it does that, it'll point out explicitly, so in Spanish does this, English does it differently, or English does something this way, and you'll notice how similar it is in Spanish. Because in addition to being bilingual, we really want our students to be able to articulate and think about what they're thinking about, right? That metacognition piece. So students can really acknowledge and make the connections in their head of what different languages do and the ways in which they are the same and the ways in which they are different. We're really excited about Ready Gen. We're really excited about biliteracy pathways. Like anything that's brand new, it takes some time to get comfortable with and get to know, but the teachers here at Paxson have embraced it and they are off and running, and it's really exciting to watch the learning that is happening in the classrooms. As a final note, I sent out last week a link to a survey that we send out to parents. It's called the Parent Voice Survey. Many of our goals as a school are built around information we get in those surveys. I asked for 250 surveys to get completed. Right now, I believe I'm at 97. So we have a little bit of a ways to go. It closes in about a week. So if you have not done so, please take some time this week or this coming weekend to fill out that 5-minute survey. I would be so grateful, and thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Thank you for your investment in our school, but more importantly, thank you for your investment in your kiddos. Have a good day.